Good morning, this is Send 7, World News in 7 minutes. I'm Stephen Devincenzi. Today is Tuesday, the 14th of May, 2024. Starting in Europe today, in Ukraine there is continuing heavy fighting in the north of Kharkiv region, where Russian forces have crossed the international border over the last few days. Russia now claims to have taken control of 9 villages just inside Ukraine. Ukrainian officials have said that Russia has had tactical success around the town of Vovchansk and said that it was moving more reinforcements to the area. Russian President Vladimir Putin has removed Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and replaced him with Andrei Bolusov, former Deputy Prime Minister and advisor to President Putin. In Spain's Catalonia region, the Socialist Party won the most seats in Catalan elections this weekend. Parties that support the independence of Catalonia have generally lost seats. Also in Spain, Colombian singer Shakira has been cleared of tax fraud charges. Last year, Shakira was forced to pay over €6 million to settle a tax debt. However, a court has now found that she did not intend to commit fraud. In the United Kingdom, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak appeared to be launching his electoral campaign yesterday by making an hour-long speech. There is still not a date set for parliamentary elections in the UK. However, they must be held before January. Sunak said that he was the best leader to take people through dangerous, transformative years and spoke about threats coming from authoritarian countries.
The dangers that threaten our country are real. They're increasing in number. An axis of authoritarian states like Russia, Iran, North Korea and China is working together to undermine us and our values. War has returned to Europe, with our NATO allies warning that if Putin succeeds in Ukraine, they might be next. And Putin's recklessness has taken us closer to a dangerous nuclear escalation than at any point since the Cuban Missile Crisis.
In Georgia, there are continuing large-scale protests against a proposed new law that would designate some organizations as foreign agents. There has been violence between police and protesters in the capital Tbilisi. The final vote on the bill could take place today. Opponents say that the law is pro-Russian, and protesters have been waving flags of the European Union, Ukraine, and the United States, as well as the Georgian flag. Asia. In Palestine, around 300,000 Palestinians have left Rafah in the last few days, and fighting has intensified in the Rafah area close to the border with Egypt. There were also reports of fighting in the north of Gaza yesterday. In Afghanistan, at least 300 people have been killed in sudden floods. The Taliban said that thousands of homes were destroyed in the Baghlan district. Americas. In the United States, Michael Cohen, the former lawyer of former President Donald Trump, testified in court yesterday, and he said that he did pay the porn star Stormy Daniels for her to keep quiet about an affair with Trump, and said that Trump ordered him to make payments to protect his chances of winning the 2016 presidential election. Prosecutors say that Trump broke the law by falsifying business records to hide the payments to Stormy Daniels. This is the first ever criminal case against a former president of the United States. Speaking outside court yesterday, Trump said that the trial was rigged and spoke about how President Joe Biden was incompetent.
This all comes from Biden and the White House, by the way. And they have their top people here. Because when he can't put two sentences together, he's the worst president in the history of our country. Can't speak, Can't walk off a helicopter, can't walk off a plane, can't walk off a stage. And the only way they think they can win is if they can do something with Trump. Because we have an incompetent, the worst president in the history of the United States of America. This trial is rigged.
In Brazil, river levels have risen again, causing more flooding after 2 weeks of serious flooding in the southern state of Rio Grande do Sul. At least 147 people are known to have died in the floods, according to authorities, and another 127 are missing. Africa. In Chad, Mahamat Idriss Deby, also known as Itno, has been declared president, with provisional results saying that he won 61% of votes, far more than any other candidate. Itno has already been transitional president since the death of his father, Idriss Deby, who was president for 30 years and is generally considered a dictator. Between Morocco and Gibraltar, 2 people have been rescued from a private yacht which was attacked by orcas. Passengers on the 15-metre-long yacht said that they felt sudden hits from the orcas, also known as killer whales, and then asked for help. When a passing oil tanker picked them up and took them to Gibraltar, the yacht later sank. Experts have identified about 15 orcas which have been attacking yachts in the Strait of Gibraltar over the last few years, and are not sure why. And in Mali, the Great Mosque of Djenné has been replastered in an annual ceremony that involves thousands of residents of Djenné. Because the mosque is constantly eroded by wind, rain and heat, every year there is a festival in which the community of Djenné mix plaster in pits, carry it to the walls of the mosque, and climb the mosque on giant wooden ladders to apply the plaster. Everyone becomes covered in the muddy plaster. Listeners, there was a mistake in yesterday's episode. We said that there was a train crash in Brazil. It was actually in Argentina. Sorry about that. A big thank you to Antonio in Italy for becoming our newest supporter. If you enjoy this podcast and would like to have access to the transcripts of every episode and our weekly news quiz, then you can become a supporter at send7.org. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow.